Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So in the year or so since Elon Musk took over Twitter, there's been many occasions where users have pointed to a new feature or policy change as the start of the end. They claim that if this new feature or policy is implemented, then Twitter will be dead. It will force all of the regular users away from the platform because it will be unusable due to that new feature or policy change. Now, the vast majority of the time, those claims are completely exaggerated, but a recent policy change that's been introduced over the past couple of days is something that I genuinely believe will harshly change the platform for the worst, because this policy change will drive away regular users. This change was announced a few days ago. It is something that Elon Musk proposed, and that is the removal of the block feature from Twitter. Now, this led to a chaotic response. People from every corner of the internet almost universally agreeing that this change would be bad for Twitter and would drive away many people from this platform. It also raised a lot of interesting conversations about the role of the block button when it comes to freedom of speech and freedom of association, as well as some interesting conversations about how things like harassment and other illegal content should be handled on social media platforms like Twitter. But before we get into that conversation, let's hear from today's sponsor. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Giga Chads over at HelloFresh have returned to sponsor this video. Use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGREV, SDAUG50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Now, what is HelloFresh? It is a trusted meal delivery service that will not only save you time, but also money by bringing you fresh, ready-to-make meals to your doorstep. Look, you're busy, you have anime girls to look at, body pillows to snuggle, and the latest Rev upload to watch. You don't have time to go to the grocery store. The answer to your dilemma is the convenience HelloFresh offers as you pick through their dozens of meal options that are updated with the latest and greatest recipes every single week, accompanied by easy to follow instructions to put it all together. I love HelloFresh because they offer not only delicious meals, but also high protein and diet conscious meal options for people like me who want to maximize their gains at the gym. Look, I can barely toast bread. I'm known for cooking with my wallet, but HelloFresh makes me look like a competent adult with cooking skills. Use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGREV, SDAUG50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone. Thanks again to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Now let's jump back into the content. Welcome back to the content, guys. Now, one of the justifications people like Elon Musk are providing for the removal of the block feature is that removing the block feature is a win for freedom of speech. Now people will be forced to have uncomfortable conversations. They can't block and run away. They have to sit there and actually talk to people. Now, I disagree with that strongly because I don't think this is a freedom of speech issue. Rather, I think the block feature has a lot more to do with the freedom of association. Now, in real life, when you get into a conversation you don't like, you can simply leave. But on the internet, things are obviously quite different. The block feature is mainly about safety and the ability for people to associate or not to associate with certain people in conversations. Like I said, in real life, if you walk outside your door onto the public sidewalk and someone starts talking to you and you don't want to hear it anymore, you can simply turn around, walk back in your home, and shut the door on them. That's essentially what the block feature is. You are effectively putting up a wall and saying you can't speak to me directly anymore. And that's not something that you can't do in real life. And of course, I understand that these things are not perfect. The block feature isn't perfect, but it's not limiting free speech. You're limiting their ability to associate with you. They can't directly talk to you anymore on that platform. It's just like in real life. You shut the door, they can't talk to you directly, but they can still say whatever they want about you to other people. They can still have whatever conversation they want. Their personal freedom of speech is not limited. That's why the block feature has nothing to do with freedom of speech. It's rather freedom of association and your ability to not associate with people online. That is your right in real life, and that's your right on the internet. You don't have to associate with people that you don't want, and removing the block feature attacks that freedom of association. Now, of course, I am very, very aware that the block feature is exploited by people to preserve their echo chambers, okay? People will block someone with a different opinion. They'll block someone to avoid criticism. They will block someone simply because they don't want to deal with a conversation or they want to run from an argument that they're losing. I understand that these things are here. I am someone who is often blocked for those very same reasons. However, the block feature goes much beyond that. It has to do with protecting what you see online and the kind of people you associate with. Now, I'm showing this graphic here because this is all of the accounts blocking me on Twitter and the accounts I'm blocking. So we talk about harassment. Now, a lot of people like to water down harassment to people simply disagreeing, but real harassment is out there. And if you're a content creator or even an account with 10 followers, you might end up crossing paths with someone who is going to systematically harass you. And the only logical first step is to block them, because people obsessed enough are not going to stop until you at least make some sort of a stand against them. And I say this and show this graph because I have a very thick skin, probably thicker than it should be. I am very conservative with who I block. You can see I have nearly 3,000 accounts blocking me. In fact, that number is so high, I'm off the chart. They don't even have a scale high enough for someone with as many blocks as I have. Now, when you look at the amount of accounts I've blocked, it's 52. And that's in 6 years of having a Twitter account and being someone who is a content creator with obviously a lot of people who dislike me and are trying to go out and harass me. So the only way I block you is if you are like a special kind of annoying. Like, you have to not only be harassing and slandering me, but you have to be doing it routinely and repetitively for days or weeks on end, where it gets to a point where I'm almost doing you a favor because you shouldn't be this obsessed with me. So I'm going to put up a wall to make it harder for you to directly talk to me. And the other reason I block people is to protect my followers, because over the years, I, like many other content creators, have had the unfortunate situation where people are posting illegal things in the replies to my tweets to shock and horrify me and my followers. So I've had people post everything in my replies, from gore videos, decapitation videos, animal torture videos, to even, gross fetish related stuff, with the sole purpose of trying to get a rise out of someone like me and to make people uncomfortable and to push their boundaries. Now, personally, I am so desensitized to the internet, nothing really kind of shakes me at this point. I will look at something like that and go, ew, that's disgusting, I don't like that, I'm going to keep scrolling. But the reason I block accounts like that is because I don't want my followers to be exposed to those things. Now, of course, there is this preloaded response where people say, well, Rev, that's not a block issue, it's a TOS issue. Just report them. It doesn't matter if they can keep replying, because Twitter will take down their account for posting illegal things. No, I am not taking that risk with the very unstable report system that Twitter has. I have seen people get their accounts taken away in 30 minutes after saying shut up to someone on Twitter. And I've also seen people, from my own personal experience, posting decapitation videos in my replies, and it took Twitter 2 months to take them down. Okay, I am not going to have to deal with someone like that for 2 months straight because I can't block them, rather have to rely on the report system. Why would I and my followers have to deal with that kind of harassment and illegal material being posted in my replies by bad actors? Why would I have to do that when I can simply block them, and that effectively stops anyone? Or the other situation where you see someone else posting illegal content in other people's replies, I'm going to preemptively block them so they don't have the opportunity to do it to me as well. Or at least I'm going to make it harder for them, right? Without the block feature, I can't do that. So you're sitting back and waiting for bad things to happen. And when they do happen, the only recourse you have is the report system, which is really, really bad to begin with. And I know too, with this whole situation, I have almost 3,000 people blocking me, a lot of V-tweeters, Twitter freaks, and antis and alike. And it would be really funny for them to see their walls break down and now they can't hide from me. That's really funny. But the net loss here with the amount of harassment, the genuine harassment that would come from this, is not worth the little bit of fun chaos this would temporarily cause. The amount of toxic things that would happen on the internet is way too much. Not to mention the fact that What about minors on Twitter? Now they can't block predators trying to go after them. It's a terrible move. And of course, a lot of people were raising the fact that removing this block feature would actually violate Apple and Google's App Store policies, and they would be removed from those areas, which is a big blow to Twitter, by the way. Getting removed from the Apple and Google App Stores is a very big deal, and it would actually hurt Twitter and their bottom line. And of course, this is something that was raised to Elon Musk himself. He got fact-checked by his own platform twice on those initial tweets. The first one said, if the ability to block users was to be removed, X would be in violation of the policies of the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. Potentially, this could lead to X being removed from these platforms. There are no such policies for the web app, however. And then down here in the second fact check, it says, blocking is a basic safety feature that allows basic protection for victims of abuse and stalking. Removing this feature would compromise the safety of people on social media. And we saw some people using that in reverse as a defense for removing the block button. Some people saying, well, you can't block a stalker in real life. Well, first of all, yes, you can with something like a restraining order. That is essentially the mirror version in real life. But this is the kind of leaps and bounds, basically saying you need to deal with bad things because the block button isn't realistic, when it is a very realistic tool and has comparable parallels in real life. But not much after that. One of the official Tesla accounts made this post saying, oh my gosh, even Elon Musk can get hit with community notes, where Elon would reply saying true, however, that note is incorrect and the community already voted it away, which unfortunately for Elon got him hit with another community note stating the note is still on the tweet. Yes, the notes are still there. I checked it at the time of recording this video, and he is still getting fact-checked now 3 times by his own platform. But the strange thing about all of this is that the current CEO of Twitter is implying that they're building something new that's going to be better than the current state of the block and mute features. Now, I didn't talk about mute. You can mute people, right? I mute people all the time. I see someone annoying, but I don't want to block them because it's like not that serious. I mute their account so I can't see what they're saying. But of course, if someone's harassing you and slandering you and threatening you, the mute button doesn't get the job done. The block button is much better. But nonetheless, the CEO is pushing this idea that they have something better than the current block and mute options, which is very confusing because what would that even look like? What is better than a block feature? It's the most basic form, but it's also the best and easiest to use. So I'm pretty curious as to what they're referring to here, and it seems like they're not letting this idea go, that they're going to change or even remove the block feature. And of course, Elon's been going on a blocking spree. He's going a little bit schizo here, saying pretty fun blocking people who complain that blocking is going away. How does that medicine taste? Who is the target of this tweet? Is this supposed to be an own or something? Like, I don't know. I feel like Elon got a little bit challenged here. He got whooped on Twitter for this decision. It was universally disliked, and now he's coping and seething and blocking people and using the feature in a way that people are saying is necessary to keep around. None of it makes any sense, but that's the way it is. And yeah, I think that's going to conclude our discussion about the block feature. I know it's been a little bit all over the place, but that's kind of the only way we can go about this. It's a complicated issue, and I'm definitely very interested to hear what you guys have to say in the reply section down below. Please share your thoughts, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.